Hello students, peace be upon all of you. As you can see in the title of the video, in this video we are going to cover how to determine the area of the circle. Now in another video we we determined how to determine the circumference of a circle, meaning the distance around the circle. We determined how to do that. And we said that, so we said the circumference of the circle is the distance around the circle, and we said that the bigger your circumference, the bigger your circle. So, because it's the distance around the circle. So if you have a small circumference, you have a small circle. If you have a big circumference, you have a bigger circle, right? Now, so we define the circumference as being what? As being the distance around your circle. Now, today we're going to talk about the area of the circle. The area of the circle. In other videos about talking about how to find area of other shapes, we defined area as being the space inside the shape, right? Now, area here is the same definition. It's the space inside your circle. It's the space inside your circle. The space inside your circle. You have a circle, you have a trampoline. We talked about the trampoline, we give the trampoline example in the circumference video, in which we said that the bigger your circumference, the bigger your trampoline, right? So if you have a big circumference, so you have a big trampoline. Now the space inside, the space that you're bouncing in, the space that you're using to bounce in a trampoline is the area you have. Okay? That's the area of the trampoline. That's the area of that circular object. Okay? And so the bigger your circumference, the more space you have. The bigger your area, the more space you have inside your trampoline. Okay? If you have a small circle, you have some area, right? But if you have a bigger circle, you have more area inside inside your circle. Okay? So area is what? So circumference is the distance around the circle. Area is the space you have inside your circle. Okay? Now, if we have a circle, how do we find the area? How do we find that area? We said A stands for area. Area equals to pi times r squared. R squared. Pi, we said pi stands for what? For 3.14. And radius, r squared means multiplying the number by itself, right? Taking it to the second power. So r means radius. R means radius. Okay? Now, what is the radius? In the circumference video, we said this is the diameter. The diameter is a line that goes through the middle of the circle, goes through the center of the circle. It has to go up through the center of the circle. And we said that the radius is half of the diameter. So the diameter is the full line that goes through the center of the circle. If we have a line not going through the center of the circle, is that the diameter? That's not the diameter. We said that the diameter is what? Is the line going through the middle of the circle, while the end points of the line is on the edge of the circle. Now, we also said that half of that line is called the radius. So the full line is what? Is the diameter. Half of the line is the radius. So we take half of the line r, we square it. So if the half was 3 meters, then we say 3 meters times 3 meters to get r squared. Okay? And then we multiply it by pi, 3.14. So radius is what? Is half of the diameter. So the radius only half of the line. The full line is what? It's the diameter. Okay? Now let's take this into action. So let's draw a bit of circle. We have a circle. There you go. Now we know that the diameter of the circle is 10 meters. So the diameter is what? 10 meters. And we're trying to find the area. Area equals what? Pi times r squared. R is the radius, pi is 3.14. So 3.14 here times the radius squared. So if the diameter is 10 meters, 10 meters divided by 2, that's 5 meters. So the radius is what? The radius is 5. We have to divide by 2 to get half of it. The radius is 5. We need to square the 5. It's r squared. So we need to square the 5. So 5 squared is equal to, so 5 meters squared, right? Is equal to what? Is equal to, let's put the parentheses here, is equal to 25 meters squared. Now you're going to ask me why meters squared? Because it's going to be 5 meters times 5 meters. You're multiplying the meters together, right? You're multiplying the meters together, so you have to take the units to the second power. Remember we said when you do area, The units of the area is always to the second barrel. It's always what? To the second barrel. And so this is gonna be 25 meters squared. 5 meters squared is 25 meters squared. 25 meters squared. You take 3.14 times 25. If you haven't practiced how to multiply a whole number by a decimal, go ahead and practice that. So you have 3.14 times what? Times 25. 5 times 4 is what? Is 20. 0 carries a 2. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 plus 2 is what? Is 7. Awesome. Then 5 times 3. We're going to ignore the decimal for now. 5 times 3 is what? Is 15. And then we do our shift. We have to put 0 here automatically and then start from here. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. And then we add these numbers. So 0. 8 plus 7 is 15. 5 carry the 1. 1 plus 5 plus 2. That's going to be 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. And then 1 plus 6 is 7. Now this is a whole number. 25 is a whole number. 3.14 is a decimal number. We only look at the decimal number. How many numbers are after the decimal point? 1, 2. 2 numbers. So we shift 2 times. 1, 2. So the decimal goes here. So this is going to be 78.50 meters squared. That's the space inside this circle. The space inside this circle. All right. Now, let's go ahead and try another example. We have a circle. This time, the radius of the circle is 4 meters. All right. Now area equals pi times r squared. Radius squared. Right. R stands for radius. Pi is 3.14 times radius squared. The radius is already there. We don't have to do anything. In the previous example, it was the diameter, right? So we had to take half of the diameter. So it was 10. Half of 10 was 5. But this time we have 4. It's already there. We already have the radius. We don't have to do any calculations. So 4 meters. We have to square the 4 meters because it's r squared. So 4m times 4m. That gives you what? 16m squared. 4 times 4 is 16. M times m is m squared. So times 16m squared. Now you multiply that. If your teacher allows you to use a calculator, awesome. Multiply the 16 times the 3.14, get the answer, you're done. If your teacher does not allow you to use a calculator, then I want you to go ahead and practice that. Let's walk together through it. 6 times 4 is what? It's 24. 4 carries a 2. So we're done here. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. Alright. 6 times 3 is 18. We put 18 down. Okay. Now, we have to, there's a second digit here that we have to go through. So we have to put a 0 under here and shift. So 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. And then add the numbers. 4 plus 0 is 4. 8 plus 4 is 12. 2 carry the 1. 1 plus 8 plus 1, that's a 10. So 0 carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. So that's 5024. The decimal number here is only one decimal number. It's the 3.14. How many numbers are after the decimal? 1, 2. There's 2 numbers after the decimal. So that's the number of shifts we're going to do and define the result. So 1, 2. So we put the decimal here. So that's going to be 50.24 meters squared. That's the space inside this circle right here. Okay? This is how we defined area for circles. Okay? I hope you guys found this helpful. If anything was unclear, please go back to that part of the video that was unclear or replay the video if you have to. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this helpful. We'll see you next time.